to Aubrey Books and Coffee. Please grab your favorite beverage of choice and join me. It's July, everybody. That means a new TBR game, a new set of TBR books we need to read, and a new readathon. So for my first time, I'm going to be joining Books and Things, and I'll make sure to put all the info below for you guys, and doing the Jane Austen July. I am so excited. If you've been here for any length of time, you know I love Jane Austen books. So incredibly excited for this readathon. She has 5 basic prompts that you're going to be following, and you can do them kind of at leisure and as you want. The book that they're going to be covering this time is Emma. So I'm going to be making sure that I have Emma on my TBR as well. Of course, I've read it before. Of course, it's been 5 stars. But I need to refresh myself and read it again this month, as well as all the goodies that we're going to be reading with our game. So without further ado, let's get started. You know, I'm trying to do a game here, mister. Can I please do a game here? Would that be okay with you, Rumpletoes? For heaven's sakes. All right, a new month. Let's see how many prompts we're going to have this month. Ooh, only 2, thank goodness. Because there is a lot going on this month. All right, and my first prompt, hi Rumpletoes, thank you, is a cookie. And what does it say, Rumble? It says Katie gets to pick, yay! I am so grateful for 2 rolls. I am not even going to lie. Because in case you're new here, I am required to read all of these that I'm going to tell you about today. And for those that I don't finish, I have until the end of the year. And if I've not finished those books by the end of the year, they come off my TBR list. If I have physical copies, they get sold or given away. So I have no choice. I absolutely have to finish these TBRs. So every time it's a low number, that's in my favor, as you'll see by the end of this, because it adds up quickly. So for the first roll, we got a Katie pick, which is so much fun. Unfortunately, I have a teenager now, and so she didn't really want to pick my book this time, which is fine. I don't ever want to force her to do anything. Not for something silly like that. So she instead said for Dad to pick. And so he did. And naturally, he likes to lean towards the scary. So he recommended By the Light of Dead Stars by Andrew Van Wey. This sounds horrific. He said it's cosmic horror. He said kind of like, think very Cthulhu-y kind of feels. Apparently a tragedy happens to poor Zelda, and so she ends up moving with her uncle Mark to a new town, and nothing is kind of what it seems in this new town. It almost feels like this evil entity is in the woods and inside some people. And so apparently the 2 of them are going to have to band together to fight this evil entity before it's too late. So that sounds really intriguing and absolutely terrifying. So thanks, Ryan. All right. Rule number 2 is a peppermint. And it says, that's right, oldest publication date. Good grief. Rule number 2 got us oldest publication date, and I'm always trying to clear my shelves. So on my shelves, my oldest book that I had was Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. This was back in 2006. I love me some Sanderson. I'm actually caught up in the Stormlight Archive. I've been enjoying buddy reading that with Tina and others, and so I love it. And Mistborn was one of the books that was chosen in Kim's Patreon book club, so I'm loving getting to tap into all the different stories that Brandon Sanderson gives us. I've not yet done Elantris, so I'm really excited to finally pick this up. This one is the whole city of Elantris apparently is just mystical and magical and amazing and advanced in technology and ways, and as wonderful as Elantris is, the people that inhabit it are even more divine, almost like gods, and they're just absolutely incredible. And to get to Elantris, apparently a kind of transformation just happens randomly in the other world, and then you move to Elantris to fill out the rest of your eternity and living forever. And the last tagline in this, though, is only eternity ended 10 years ago. I don't know what that means. I am intrigued, but I don't know what that means. So I'm excited to finally tap into it and let you guys know. Now it's time for the apothecary jar. I cannot keep this cat away. All right, grab this one, and it says, stop it. It says Finley Donovan is Killing It by L. Cosimano. Stop it. So the apothecary jar got us Finley Donovan is Killing It by L. Cosimano, I think is how you pronounce that. I've heard great things about this whole series, and so I've been wanting to try it for a while, and now I have a good excuse to pick up the first in this series. This is going to be following Finley Donovan, who is a single mother of 2 and a struggling novelist. One day she's pitching her new suspense novel idea and concept to her boss and gets overheard by someone who actually wants to hire her as a contract killer. This sounds like the kind of crazy mayhem I am all for, and it feels like a summer read to me, so I'm excited. Now I'm going to draw from the Advent jar. I have to cover my papers now because he keeps trying to steal them. Good grief. 1 and 2. Stop it. See what I mean? Ugh, doing a TBR game so hard with cats. And it's A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle Jensen. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to read that one. That's the sequel. And Sunrise on the Reaping. Yay! Sweet, sweet Advent jar. We got 2 really good ones this time. I am so excited for that. The first one we got was A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle L. Jensen. This is book 2, the sequel to A Fate Inked in Blood that came out last year. And it's one of my 25 and 2025 I wanted to read. So I'm super excited to see Freya and Bjorn again and see what happened after the end of that first book, right? The second book is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This is, of course, a Hunger Games prequel. This one, actually, we're going to be following Hamish Abernathy. For those who've only seen the movies and not read the books, this is played by Woody Harrelson. So I'm excited to see it. The first prequel, I was just kind of so-so on, a 3-star, but I've heard this one's even better. So I'm really, really excited to see some familiar faces and see what happens. And this time I'm actually going to draw 2 from the beautiful book box jar because I am far behind and it's already July and I have way too many of those beautiful books that I like to give out in my 12 days of Christmas. So I need to get them read. So this time I'm going to do 2. And the first one is Throne of Secrets, which actually I've already read. So yay! That's going to make that a whole lot easier. So instead, I'm going to do Forever Rain. I already did the first one in that series, so this will be the second one. It's a 2-book, 2 stories that were put together in one omnibus, so I get to do Forever Rain now. And the second one is, Phantasma. Now, because I am behind, and what a problem to have, am I right? Super blessed over here. I'm going to be starting to draw 2 out of this jar every month. So the first one that I drew was Forever Rain by V.B. Lacey. This is that gorgeous edition that had 2 in 1. I did do Long Live last month, so I'm excited to finally get the sequel to that and see what's happening. I have needs. I needs to know, because when we left off with Isla, Bree, and Sebastian and some things that were happening. I kind of need to know what happens next. So I'm excited about that. And the second one that I drew has been on a previous month. I am so sorry to repeat, but Phantasma, which of course follows those sisters where one decides to sign up for this competition and the other sister now needs to sign up to try to make sure the other sister survives the competition. And the sequel has already come out. So in order to be able to read that, I've got to read this. So I'm glad these 2 were drawn and I'm excited to finally get to them. Now it's time for the Bookopoly roll, and we did pass go last time, and Samantha did see it, and so she was the first one to tell me I passed go and mention a book on my TBR, so she got a really cool 3D printed dragon bookmark. So always pay attention. You never know. For the month of July, we've got 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Ooh, enemies to lovers square. That makes me so happy because I love that trope. So our Bookopoly roll got us enemies to lovers, which is my all-time favorite trope, so I'm super excited. I chose for this one The Never List by Jade Presley. I've heard incredible things about this. I've seen this all over BookTube. This was actually recommended also by Vanessa from Read with Dr. B. It's a gorgeous edition, and the whole premise sounds incredible. We have the kingdom of, I think it's pronounced Lumethist. Basically, there's these 4 royal princes, and they're immortal, and the only way that they can save their kingdom from invaders that are coming in is to find their chosen mate, which kind of, I guess, amps up the power for everybody, and then they can protect Lumethist. Unfortunately, 5 different women have tried to be the fated mate, and 5 have failed. They finally think that they found that fated mate, only Riley wasn't even supposed to be there. So she doesn't think she could possibly be that fated mate. She actually just snuck into the kingdom for her own dark and sinister reasons. And they're going to try to convince her to fall in love with them. And hopefully she'll survive the transition to immortality so they can protect their kingdom. Meanwhile, she has a dark and sinister secret that could damn them all. Dun, dun, dun. So, yeah. Hope I love it. Now it's time for Shrink Your Shelf, and I am excited because I have a brand new, completely clean board. Woohoo! So let's see what happens. There shouldn't be any repeats. A book, so in that column. And remember, these have to come off my shelf. And a peppermint, a book and a peppermint. Ooh, is the smallest book. I appreciate that. My Shrink the Shelf bingo game got us the smallest book. On my shelf, just a hair over 300 pages. My smallest book is Love and Other Paradoxes by Catriona Silvey. I won this in a book club where we were kind of competing over answering romantic questions for different genres and things, and in the romance book club that I attend, and I ended up winning this free advanced copy. So I'm excited to get to it finally. We're going to be following Joe Green, who likes to scribble in margins of books and things, and he just hopes one day that he'll be a famous author. And we're following Essie, who is from the future, and she decides to go on a time-traveling tour back to the days of Shakespeare, i.e. Joe Green, and she wants to see firsthand what he's really all about, if he's really worth the hype that we have today, and unfortunately literally bumps into him and throws off his path. And how can she rewrite it before history gets rewritten? It sounds like it's going to be kind of cute. Rule number 2 is a roll again. That's the first roll again. Ooh, coffee. So we have a coffee column. Good. I know there won't be any repeats then. And a book. Coffee and a book. Ooh, a one-word title. Okay. The bingo board got us a one-word title. I chose Bloodleaf by Crystal Smith. I got this actually from Once Upon a Book Club. They have a kind of, what do you call that? Not a board, but a poster, and you can scratch off books as you go and write in the dates and what book you read and everything. And at the end of it, whenever you take a picture and send it to them, showing them that you have completed that challenge, they'll send you a free book. Kind of cool. So this is the one that they sent me last year. I've been wanting to get to it. It sounds incredible and has a gorgeous cover. But we're going to be following Princess Aurelia, who is a prisoner to her crown. She's the heir nobody really wants. She's forbidden to use her blood magic, and she's constantly surrounded by spirits. Well, there's an assassination attempt that's devastating, so she has to flee the castle. They say the only place that she can go that's safe is to her betrothed, Prince... oh, what is his name? Valentin. Unfortunately, she really just doesn't have feelings for him. So instead, she decides to dress up as a commoner and go to an entirely different land where they've never even heard of her. And then she starts to make new friendships there. She's able to kind of work on her magic and perfect it. And of course, starts falling for somebody who would never be allowed to rule with her. And our last roll for this month is a roll again. That's just one. Coffee cup. Uh-oh. Anything but a book. Anything but a book. Ooh, wine glass. Coffee and Wine is a book box book. Remember, I need to get through those, so I love that. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my little jar while I'm right here anyway. And the book box book will be The Bee Sweet. Ooh. The third bingo roll got us book box book, which is perfect because, again, I'm trying to get through these. So I selected The Bee Sweet Berry by D.L. Taylor. This is the Owl Crate edition. It's really, really pretty. We're going to be following Princess Monsella, and it's unfortunate that her father, who is ruling the kingdom, is a terrible person. And the magic he decided to bequeath to her is that she can summon animals, but only after she's killed them with her bare hands. There's always an evil catch to everything this guy does. And so Mancella's struggling with that, coming to terms with what her father wants her to be as a ruler versus what her heart wants. Enter Silver, who is a charming thief, and he's struggling to make ends meet in this kingdom that her father's just really ruling with an iron fist. And he actually gets a mysterious benefactor that says, hey, I have an opportunity for you, a heist of a lifetime at the castle. All you have to do is befriend Monsella and riches will be yours. So I have a sneaking suspicion he's going to be warring with wanting the money and the leisure and being set up for life with this girl that he's probably going to fall for. So this should be hopefully a really cute read. And I love getting to do Leandra's TBRAthon each month. It is so much fun. And again, gets those books off my shelf. We have a 6. We're going to do just one dice this time. 1, 2, 3 is the finish. So I'm going to go back to start. 4, 5, 6. 1 plus person on the cover. So more than one person on the cover. And yes, I'm still playing the TBRathon because it's amazing. And I'll make sure to put Leandra's information also there. And so much fun. It has been so much fun. I can't wait to finish the year with it too and continue to get these books off my shelves. So for this one, I landed on more than one person on the cover. Now on my bookshelf, I have Lux Opposition. This is actually book 5 in the Lux series, and I'm only on book 3. So technically it's not coming off my shelf, but I'm getting closer to getting this off my shelf. And so I'm going to be reading Opal. Again, that is book 3 in the series by Jennifer Armentrout. We're going to continue following Katie and Damon, and I've really enjoyed this series, and so I'm excited to get to this one. The number generator, I spun that wheel and it landed on number 120. And then when I went to GoodReads and scrolled, that landed on Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered by Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark. In case you guys don't know, they actually have a very popular and famous podcast called My Favorite Murder. It's a lot of fun. It has some dark moments, but they also have a lot of humor and kind of sisterly love there. They're not blood sisters, but they're besties, and it is absolutely hysterical. And they've got cats and dogs that come make an appearance periodically, and it is just so much fun. And they've been touring all over the world, so it is very, very fun. I highly recommend the podcast. Just know that it may not be child appropriate when you're listening, and it can have some heavy topics as well. But I do, you know, I'm not big on murder and I'm not big on horror, but I love this podcast. So I can't wait to read their memoir that they wrote, and that'll also be my nonfiction for the month. All right, so for this section, strap in because it's going to be a bit of a lengthy ride. We're going to start off with the book clubs, and of course, I'm going to talk about mine first, the ABC Book Club. Please join us anytime on Discord. We have channels set there, and you can come in and you can talk about your thoughts on these books at any time. We're also open to suggestions, and that's made it a lot of fun for last month and now this month. So for this month, we're going to be doing A Master of Jen by Deli Clark. We're in Cairo in 1912, and Agent Fatma El Sharavi is called to a murder case, basically the brotherhood of a very famous man who was able to open the veil between the magical world and the mundane world. These brotherhood that have band together to appreciate what he's done for them are all killed. And so she's called to find out what's going on. And lo and behold, the murderer claims to be the one and only Al-Jahiz, who was the very same famous man who opened up that, veil. So could be interesting, kind of a murder mystery kind of thing. I feel like It's going to have a whole lot of world building in it too, which is going to be beautiful. And I'm very excited. Just because I butcher names doesn't mean I'm not excited to read about all these beautiful worlds. So I'm excited about that one. As for book clubs with the library, my Happily Ever After book club that I enjoy being a part of with romance chose for this month The Duke Who Didn't by Courtney Milan. Basically, we're going to be following a girl after my own heart. Miss Chloe Fong has plans for her life and lists for days, and I am all about that. You're speaking my love language there. But she has no room in her life for nonsense. And so when this gentleman comes around trying to woo her, she says, once you're serious, we'll talk. Otherwise, be gone. And he does actually disappear. Fast forward years later, he comes back, and Mr. Jeremy Wentworth is all of a sudden the Duke of Lansing. And he's always been the Duke of Lansing, just didn't tell her his title and true name. And oh, by the way, he owns the whole village. So now the two of them are being forced back together. And he's going to try to make sure that she has room in her life for fun and mischief and not all seriousness. And she's going to have to overcome the desire to not be with someone that'll monkey up her plans. Again, I can so relate. So I'm excited about that one. Then as far as NetGalley, I have on the list The Last Vampire by Romina Garber. All I have for this is the tagline that it's Pride and Prejudice meets Crave. Love both of those. So I'm really excited about that. For a GoodReads win, I need to finally get to From Shadow to Flame by Ryan Kirk. I know this is book 2 in that series. It's supposed to be the clans that are continuing to fight for survival. So I'm excited to read that and try this author for the first time and see what I think. For the continuing a series section, I am actually now dedicating that to being the Stasia Stark book series that I need to get to and finish because I'm now on our street team. I'm so excited. So for this one this month, I'm going to pick up This Vicious Dream by Stasia Stark. I think it sounds absolutely incredible. The cover is stunning, absolutely stunning, and it just sounds amazing. We have Medina, who basically saved a kingdom by snatching up the grimoire that was all powerful and could make or break kingdoms, and she hid it away. So now she's been captured, and her captors are trying to break her to find out the location of this grimoire. Enter this man who doesn't have a name on the synopsis, so I'm gonna have to wait and see what the love interest is. He arrives beautiful. He's ruthless. Unfortunately, he's not here to save her. He's there because he wants the grimoire, and he too will destroy anybody that keeps him from it. So I think this is gonna be absolutely fabulous. So the top 3 new releases that are coming out in July that I'm most excited for. Out on July 8th is Predatory Natures by Amy Goldsmith. This is the author that I read from before when I read Those We Drown, which is in a YA book box. Gave it 4 stars, so I love her writing style. In this one, we're going to be following a teen girl named Laura Williams who gets a job aboard a luxury train, and she's hoping it's going to be everything that pays the bills and not be too hard. Unfortunately, she runs into an ex of hers, but she's determined to make this job work and not be miserable. Well, in the middle of the night, 2 mysterious cars are added at the end of this train. And inside these mysterious carriages are some beautiful and rare plants and 2 people that are guarding it, a pair of siblings that are mysterious and seem almost otherworldly. And suddenly, Laura starts having dreams where these cars are calling to her. Right? Also coming out on July 8th is Of Flame and Fury by Michaela Bridge. This looks like a potential debut novel, at least according to GoodReads. I didn't see any other books by this author, so I've not read from her before. I'm excited. The tagline is Fourth Wing meets Iron Widow, but also with Phoenix races. What's not to love about that? So I'm excited to pick that one up. I hope you are too. And last but certainly not least, coming out on July 29th, A Mastery of Monsters. This is by Lizelle Sambury. This is the same author that did Delicious Monsters that I read before, a YA kind of horror. I gave 4 stars. Again, delicious writing style. I hope you don't mind that that verb being used like that. That's the only way I can think of. I absolutely love her writing style. It's exquisite. And the tagline is Ninth House meets Legendborn. and it's a brand new start to a new dark academia series. So yeah, you got me there as well. Well, let me know below what you're most excited to read in July, if you've read any of these that I'm going to be reading, and what you thought of them, which ones you think I'm going to like the best. Thank you all so much for being here. Please like, subscribe, send your friends, and I'll see you all next time.